Welcome to Module 2, Lesson 1, Active Listening Techniques. In hospitality, the most testing moments often begin when a frustrated guest approaches a staff member to voice a complaint. These complaints typically arrive when a guest is feeling vulnerable or disappointed. From that perspective, even a minor logistical error can feel overwhelming. At these times, guests drop their guard, looking for someone who will truly listen to them. Listening often seems like a passive skill that happens by default while someone else speaks. In practice, active listening is a choice to concentrate on the intent behind the words rather than simply hearing the sounds. In a fast-paced environment, many service workers feel a heavy pressure to offer an immediate solution to keep things moving. But jumping to a fix before the guest truly feels heard makes them feel dismissed, which reliably increases their anger. When immediate solutions backfire, service professionals need a way to bridge the gap between a guest's emotional outburst and a successful resolution. De-escalation begins before you speak. The first stage of active listening is entirely physical. Maintaining an open posture, leaning in slightly, and holding eye contact signals that the guest has your full attention. These small gestures build a sense of security and respect. On the other hand, crossing your arms, fidgeting, or looking around the room signals distraction. Guests take these cues seriously, and they will react to your discomfort with increased frustration. You must also avoid the urge to interrupt. Even if you believe you already have the answer, guests often need to vent their feelings before they are ready to discuss a solution. By mastering these physical cues and maintaining patience, you establish a baseline of respect that can halt the escalation of a conflict before the verbal phase begins. Once the guest has finished speaking, you move into verbal validation. Validation involves acknowledging the guest's frustration from their point of view. You aren't confessing guilt too early. You are recognizing that they feel bad about the situation. A gentle phrase like, "I know that has to feel really frustrating," creates immediate rapport. A guest's chaotic delivery obscures the actual facts. It's difficult to find a solution when issues are buried under frustration. Paraphrasing extracts those facts. Restating the guest's points separates the emotion from the event. This verifies your understanding and proves you take their problem seriously. Extracting the important points helps you isolate the underlying issue. This moves the conversation away from emotional friction and toward a clear resolution. In a fast-paced toolkit, silence is a counterintuitive but highly strategic tool. A brief pause after a guest stops talking creates a timeout. This space allows the guest to fact-check themselves, take a breath, and de-escalate their own tension. Following that silence with gentle, open questions demonstrates curiosity. Asking, "What happened after that?" or "What was most disappointing for you?" gathers information without sounding confrontational. Active listening provides a mental framework for emotional regulation. Without it, interactions become a clash between a defensive worker and a frustrated guest. Focusing on the guest's viewpoint stops emotional reactions. Instead of asking why they are unhappy, focus on how you can serve them. This mental shift reduces stress and builds the professional confidence needed to lead a tough interaction toward a shared goal. When these techniques are applied, the initial friction of a complaint begins to mellow out. A guest who feels truly understood no longer feels the need to remain on the defensive. Their frustration eases because they no longer have to fight to be taken seriously. These guests are more likely to be patient with the solutions you offer. They are also significantly more prone to leaving positive reviews and returning to the property, even after a service failure. Conversely, when active listening is absent, even the smallest logistical error can spiral into total dissatisfaction simply because the guest feels ignored. Active listening allows staff to handle challenging times with professional grace. It converts a potential argument into a connection that resonates more powerfully than the original complaint.